All right, man. We back up in the place, the new spot, live from the green room. We are pre-recording this, so yo, man, welcome back.
Yo, we're back, man. Another episode live from the green room. Myself, Joe Feezy, Tony be here in a few.
Yep.
As y'all can see, we got a new look here.
Yeah. It's green.
We got a new look.
It's the green room.
It's the green room.
This is the green room.
It's fire.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Kev on Stage Studios, man, for hosting us. We've been reading a lot of you guys' comments, and so we just wanted to step it up in certain areas with the podcast. So hopefully this would be to you guys' liking. You know, y'all, I know this is a new podcast for us, so a lot of things are trial and error.
Right.
And so, you know.
So make sure you like and subscribe the upgrade, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah. So Fox, man, you just got back from Dallas.
Yeah, man.
All right. So first of all, you had your own night that you headlined the Wednesday before the tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
July the 31st, Wednesday. Shout out to everyone that came through. That was a pleasant surprise, and it was on the heels of, you know, just myself promoting it, telling people about it, telling old fans and friends. And I had a lot of people come out, and what was cool about it is that, and shout out to the Addison Improv too, Jay and the whole staff there. They actually had like an email list, so they had, hey, this is who's coming.
Okay.
And I saw some new faces in there.
Okay.
You know, I saw some new faces that's never been to my show, and they're like, "Oh man, yeah, it's great, man. Man, you were fire, man." You know, it was a cool show. It was intimate.
Yeah.
And you know, my parents was there, so it's kind of like a bit of a family reunion a little bit.
You had a lot besides your parents. Did you have other family members there?
I had definitely had on my mother's side is from Texas.
Okay.
So a lot of extended cousins and stuff that heard about it that's like never seen me before. That was their first time seeing it. And it was cool because everybody was hugging each other and stuff like that. And I'm like, why is everybody hugging everybody?
Yeah.
Like, this is a family reunion?
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
brought everyone together.
Yeah, I brought everybody together, you know, in laughter and love. And I saw some schoolmates, some old schoolmates that came out, some of them that, you know, never seen me before. And then some that haven't seen me in a long time.
Any chicks?
Yeah, there was some chicks in there. There were some chicks. There was some chicks that kept it together, and then there's some other chicks. You know what was cool? Everybody was aging gracefully.
That's good, man.
And I really like that because over time, and especially let's be honest, man, COVID, that kind of made a lot of us fall off health-wise.
Yeah.
And some people recovered, other people. You know, it's a new life.
I still been fluctuating.
Man,
listen. Weight, and, you know, we talk about, you know, that.
He was talking about that.
Yeah. I still been fluctuating weight-wise since COVID. Because COVID was the heaviest I've been, right? And then when I lost, I got back down.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's like once you get to a weight, and even if you lose it, it's like now that weight becomes your weight.
Your ideal weight?
Ideal weight.
Yeah, it's like
my ideal weight was like 183, 185 forever.
Really?
And then
like
I got
years,
years,
like most of your 30s.
Most of my 30s.
Man.
And then I got, let me see, COVID came. I got to like 206, 207.
That's 12.
I was like, damn.
I was like that. I was like my ideal weight, which I thought was like 155.
God dang. You built like a toddler.
First of all, I'm 5'8". You like what, 6'1"?
Yeah.
So 185, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Even if you fluctuate up to 206, that's still.
But it just be in your stomach. For me,
that's what it is. As you get older, see young blood, see you straight. What
I'm
you were like?
155 right now.
What?
Yeah.
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 6'2".
Okay, you're 6'2". So you got that's bone. That's bone and muscle.
So you ain't see no big backs. Nobody had no big back at the show.
Well, I mean, there
a few of them.
I mean, a few of them.
It's Texas. You gonna see a couple of big backs.
It's Texas. But, you know,
they might be fine, but they gonna be fine. Texas, but they gonna have some big backs.
Yeah, you know. That made it look like there was more people. So
right.
That was good.
Right.
But you know, it was good to see people, just happy and living life, and and they came out on a Wednesday.
That's dope.
See, that's what they do. Your first time out headline, and that's not gonna give you a full weekend. They just gonna give you a night, and that's either a Wednesday or Thursday. This time it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
And for that, the managers said this is good. Like that was a good turnout.
So what was the process? Did you just emailed them? You called them?
I called them, and and that's one of the things that that Rock was encouraging us to do, since we've been going around and around in these clubs so many times. Like, you've established that relationship. Now it's time to leverage that. So I called Jay, the GM.
Now, you was familiar with Jay from that, from because of that being your home club.
Yes, being that home club. Also, Jay, and I suspect this is the case with a lot of other comedy clubs. Those general managers, they've watched us. They used to be on staff, so it's not like they don't know you. Especially the ones that's been on staff. They can make a whole career of working comedy clubs. So he was one of those guys that when I started, he was like on the wait staff, working the door, bar manager. Now he's a GM. So over the years, it's like, oh yeah, of course, come on.
So let me ask you a question. So if it was Orlando, and you would try to get the one night in Orlando, do you think would be as easy, or another city, being as though, because Texas is your home club, did you think that played a part? Did you think, because I'm asking for myself, you know what I mean? Because I was talking to, I think, at the general manager or the manager at the Tampa Improv. I was like, yo, I'll come back and do it one night. He was like, yeah, man, as long as you can sell tickets, because it's at the point now, if you don't have a certain amount of tickets sold by this day, then we will cancel the show and this and that. So do you think that played a part, or?
I definitely think that played a part, but at the end of the day, like, once you establish yourself in any city, and you respond to people on social media, and if you have like someone to help promote, you can pay for promotion, marketing. Yeah, people will come, and you leverage the club's ability to promote you, and you give them the materials to do so. Yeah, and you should be able to get a crowd, especially if you've been there before. Yeah, so that's one of those things where I was like, I got to take a chance on myself in my hometown.
Yeah. I've always been and this is me, where I need to kind of get out that mindset. I just been nervous to do, like, even though I hit them, I'm always politicking. I'm always like, yo, you know what I mean. But it's just the social media aspect of it that always just makes me say,
that's part of the. There's no way around not promoting yourself on some level, and it wasn't perfect by any means, but I didn't spend like hundreds of dollars on promotions. Yeah. I didn't do any radio or anything like that. Yeah. But if I'd really been thinking about it, what I should have done is just said, everybody in the audience, take out your phones and get on your social media and tag me. Say, this is where you at, this is where you missing. Yeah, and take advantage of that aspect. That probably would have just help just get the word out so the next time I come in, and people say, oh yeah, I remember, I'm gonna make sure I come this time. Because see, in the DFW area, they have Arlington as well. So I gotta, I just gotta hit him up, the GM at that club, and do the same thing. So you doing that in another city, I think it's just, if they give you the date, then that's just the work, the promotional work that you
that we gotta do.
And I didn't ask this, but I suspect that they don't always have Wednesday nights like that. It's like, oh, you can't sell it out on a Wednesday night? I don't want you. No, it's Wednesday night. There's so many people that hit me up and said, look, it's a Wednesday night. I can't. It's a school night. I have to work early in the morning. They do they entertainment on the weekends, on a Friday or Saturday. So I understand that. So for what it was, I would say, I was happy with it.
Oh yeah.
I was definitely
if I can
pleased
get
with it.
50 people on a Wednesday night.
I think 50 people in any city is good.
I would be good with that.
First night, if that's your first time out. But still, I mean, whatever you do to promote,
and then you can always get local comedians to host,
you can do that.
To feature, to say, yo, bring a certain amount of folks.
Yeah, you can do that.
Blah,
And
blah, blah.
Leverage the local guys because they want that stage time, especially, and people too. So it's not like they're strangers. I got my guys. Shout out to Raj Sharma. Shout out to Marvin Michaels. Shout out to Q Coleman. And they came and did some time, and it was just like old times because those are the guys that I started with.
Right.
But in another town, I mean, cats. So I mean, use them.
Was it a door? Did you have a door deal? Or?
It was a small.
He said small. How small, Fox?
It was an agreement. Like, here's the minimum, and if you make over this, then you get a split. Then you get a split. It's like they're not gonna give you the world. They're not gonna.
Was your food at least free?
I got free food.
Okay.
I got a room.
Oh, they gave you a room.
Yeah, they gave me a room. Like, come on, they gave me a room. I'm headlining, man. So,
but you had to get there.
Oh yeah, I still had to get there. Okay. Like that, I didn't get.
See, I might not start trying to do these headline nights till about January, February.
Well, you know what?
When the flight privileges come back.
I'll say this. I could pay for my flight. I got, that was.
Oh, you got whatever you pay for your flight. You definitely got that back.
That was offset. That was all. I definitely offset that.
So okay. Then you had a little extra after that.
Had a little extra after that. But you know what? I would, knowing what I made on that, I would have just spent all of that on promotions. I'm glad I hired a videographer, photographer. Shout out Frank Lott and LP on the scene, and I got some little footage and a lot of good stage shots. So I documented the moment. So
yeah. I think I think that's when I'm gonna. And it's not when I'm starting. Like I said, I've been putting the energy in there, but I think I'm gonna go a little harder now to which is why it's part of why we created this podcast, Live from the Green Room. So, when we go on these cities individually without tone, that we still, pulling a nice, decent crowd. You know what I mean? Because the material is there. The time is there. Yeah. We just need people to, to understand that. And shout out to every city we go to. I get at least, I say about 150 followers from each city every weekend. When I, from that Thursday through Sunday or Friday through Sunday, I get about 150 from each of those cities. So what I'm about to do, I said I need to hire maybe a social media engagement specialist who knows where my followers are at, what cities, what states, and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to reach out to these clubs and, I'm just going to sell myself, man, because you just got to do it. And hey, you got to take the shots.
Yeah, because eventually you're going to be doing that anyway, because I don't know if you've ever been, how you perform have you been on the road any?
I've been on Atlanta, kind of on the road.
The Atlanta scene, but in general, just the comedy clubs themselves. If you've ever been there locally and you've been there on that Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, they're not pulling in big numbers on those days.
Right. So it's perfect.
So you can do that. You can do what I did. I had 71 people.
That's
of paid tickets.
That's dope.
And then some comedians showed up. Shout out to Shucky Ducky. He came out to the show.
Word.
Yeah, I was like, is that
That's dope.
Ducky? Shucky Ducky came through. He came through. So that's old school. He would come around the younger comedians when I started. So shout out to Shucky Ducky.
I didn't even know he lived in Dallas.
He did. Yeah, he's from Dallas. He's from Dallas.
Well,
yeah,
good,
he came
man.
through and who else? Somebody. I just college people that I ain't seen in a minute. You know, old church members. They was in there getting drunk on a Wednesday.
that night I did the Ontario Improv.
Okay.
With Jackie Fabulous.
Oh yeah, Jackie, man. I love Jackie Fabulous.
Yeah, Jackie.
Shout out to Jackie Fabulous.
Jackie is hilarious, man. Yeah. And we worked well together.
Oh yeah.
After that show, she was like, "Yo, we got great chemistry as far as the stage wise." And a lot of people, I get told that a lot.
No, was it just you two?
Nah, she had a host and then somebody that went up and did like 10 minutes.
All right, who's that?
Oh,
you didn't know who they were?
Nah. She had like two white lady, Spanish lady, then me, and then Jackie. So I did 20.
Yeah,
before
like those clubs I think those are fair game too. Like
they're
local,
yeah.
And we definitely know those guys.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm gonna get out my own head with that. You know what I mean? With the social media and the followings and just, you know what I mean? I got to get out my own head with that. And just, because to be honest, I really didn't have no interest as far as headlining with the small crowd. I was okay with, you know, featuring with a bigger crowd because I'm being exposed to more people. See, my thing was about the exposure in front of as many people that I can be in front of. You know what I mean? And the only difference is I'm doing 30 or 20, 25, 30 instead of an hour. Yeah. And I'm like, so they still seeing, you know, half of what I do.
You know what? I've always, that's just about getting comfortable, but you know, we're not going to do this forever like this. I mean,
no. You're right.
I would definitely go to the home base because that is where a lot of your
people are
at. And I kind of felt like, because if I didn't do it in Dallas, where I started, I definitely would go like to Oklahoma City, where I grew up.
Yeah,
because I think there's still a comedy club there, like a Bricktown Comedy Club or something.
Yeah, Bricktown. Yeah,
Bricktown. So like that's my next move. I'm like, all right, I just did this. I'm coming now. I'm really coming home. And there's so many people like. Skinny Key was the only person that came up from Oklahoma.
Yeah, Skinny Key gonna come.
Skinny Key rolled out. So yeah, he said, "What's up?" By the way.
Oh, what else?
He said y'all's gonna go to that liquor store and cigars or something.
Oh yeah,
something
man.
Like
you know I love. That's what I do.
Yeah, he came out. He had a great time. He just came out that one day, and
yeah.
So yeah, definitely, I go back to Oklahoma City, and you know.
I was dealing with this. Well, this lady reached out to me. It was a referral from Leslie Cigar, aka Big Les, the dancer.
Okay,
so, my friend, she
was at Earthquake's joint at that party that day.
And her friend was doing these shows and needed comedians, you know, and she had she was trying to putting this tour together. She was like, well, one of my, you know, we need some new comedians, and you came highly recommended. So. She sent me the list of all the clubs. They like B-list clubs, like the Looney Bin and, you know, clubs like that in Oklahoma, whatever. Not like few improvs, few funny bones, but mostly the high end. I mean, low end, like the B-level clubs.
B-room, yeah.
And so we talking and negotiating, and she asking me questions as far as, you know, when I headline, what are my numbers like? And I'm like, well, as of now, I'm featuring. When I'm in LA, and if I do my own show, I sell it out, whatever. And then they looking at the following. So I didn't hear nothing from her after it was like the following and then this and then that. And I was just like, they probably was like, he can't sell no tickets. You know what I mean? And sometimes like shit like that. I just be like,
it can be a little discouraging.
I'm a real like I'm not one who walks around and just not real about the discouraging things that happens in the business. I'm a realist with it. Now that don't mean I stop or give up, but I don't mind articulating it or making it known that
it's when you come highly recommended,
yeah,
or somebody can vouch for you at that level, those club managers or whoever they are gonna look at your numbers and your past record. So
I'm like, I don't have a, what I mean?
It's hard to say. Like, you're not experienced enough. Go get some experience. I was like, all right, I need some experience. I'm sorry, you don't have any experience.
Yeah,
it's like
22.
Yeah, it's like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, man. And sometimes that shit get. That's why. Speaking when we was talking about me, with COVID, when my, the most weight I was at, and I was saying I went back down. Now I'm back up. I'm back up at that 206, 207. Oh, yeah. And about 209, but now I'm at 207 right now. But I started the new workout regimen. I started Monday, and I added the nutrition aspect to it because I've always been working out. But I never really focused on the nutrition aspect as hard.
Of course, that's half the battle, right?
That's half the battle. So now I just challenge myself to do stuff that I hate doing, like getting up early. So I'm in the gym by 6:30 in the morning.
Where you go?
LA Fitness.
Okay, LA Fitness. Okay.
In the gym by 6:30. Surprisingly, I'm like, why are all y'all motherfuckers in the gym at this hour?
Man, it's like different people. It's like a different slice of like. I remember one time I went to the gym at like 8. You know, so the early crowd, the 5 a.m. to 7 p.m.
They gone.
Like, they go. Like, I feel like a stranger. All these people are new. I don't know any of these people.
And when you go out 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it could be light. If you go 5 o'clock in the evening, packed. So
people just getting off work.
Yeah. So I've been all right. So this is day 2. I said, all right, I'll be at the gym by 6:30. You know what I'm saying?
Now, would you ever get a trainer?
I technically got one. He just virtual. So that's what I'm saying. So my man is official. Shout out to DBO Fitness, my man Richard DeShields out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He finally said, yo, I'm going to take my classes virtual.
Oh, wow.
But this dude.
So it's not one-on-one.
It's not one-on-one. So he posts the videos every day of the workout you need to do. And then he deletes it after that day.
Oh, okay. So you better do it.
So it's like you bet, and then he sends you your nutrition plan in addition to that. And then he'll go live and just talk about the nutrition plan. Like, all right, this is how you do it. This is this. You could just simply get this. You could get that.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, I'm finally taking my classes virtual. So $120.
She pregnant?
She was.
Okay, yeah.
But not after this workout.
She had that was after she had her baby.
Right. I was like, before she has a baby, I was like, that's a pregnant
but
shot,
that's a 5-month transition from here to there. That's 5 months.
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like, and I always be hitting him like, hey, man, Rick, yo, man, send me some, man, what you? And he like, I got you, man. Like, he the type, like, when I need that trainer for a role or whatever, yo, Rich, come get me right. But he took his shit online, virtually, and it was only $120. $120 for 3 months, and give you a nutrition plan.
And that's for every day of that $120?
$1.20 a day.
Okay.
Basically. So 3 months. And once you do it for 3 months, now you know what you're doing. Now you know what to do. After the 3 months, you already locked in. You know what to eat, what not, you know what I mean? You already know the exercises. And he sent me extra because he's like, well, what's your goal? I'm like, I need to rip fast. He's like, I'm going. The plan I give you is going to get you shredded quick. And he's like, yo, but you got to do what I tell you. Then he sent me bonus workouts and stuff like that. So, and the reason I was like, yo, man, like, I wanted to do something like I was saying earlier before we started recording, with this business. Like you say, we put this effort in, we put that effort in, we make these phone calls, we send these emails, we do this audition, we hit, you know what I mean? We hit these stages.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't necessarily see the results that we desire, that we want. And everybody, we all got our things to keep us going. Well, the audition is, you that is work.
It is the job.
You like, yeah, we know it's the job, motherfucker, but I want to be on set too.
Yeah.
I want to get that promotion. You know what I mean? To actually be in my trailer as well. So I was like, you know what? For my mental sake, I wanted to do something and challenge myself and work hard at something that I have control over, that I can see the results. Right. And when you do that, then you'll start seeing results in other areas of your life.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, man. You got to have an outlet for your frustrations in other areas. Like, you got to be able to focus on something. Yeah. Because I know sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I'm working out, especially in the morning, I get up and I go to the gym. My creative energy, the brain waves, like I'm able to make sure, okay, I have an idea, go ahead and write that down, because there's these moments of clarity, and I can come back to it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and I can flesh out an idea or just some thoughts and some ideas that I haven't thought about in a while, and I can focus on that. That was a good idea. I need to try this. I need to try that, or just something that on my to-do list that, look, you need to do this. You need to do this, or research time, listen to, learning something, because once the day gets started, all that other stuff, it goes out the window, man. But that's why I like going in the morning. I tried to go, like you said, like at 1 o'clock. I was like, I can't do it.
Well, that's how I usually do. I usually go at 1 o'clock.
I can't do
but it's so much better to go in the morning before your day start, because anything else you need to do, you don't have to say, damn, I got to try to squeeze the gym in. Gym is already done. And then that way, if you want to get an extra workout in, so that way with me going in the morning, now that I don't go at 1 o'clock, I can really get an extra workout in at the house, at the crib, and do my regular home workouts that I was doing when I when I cut down my Sean T shit. You know, that's what I was doing during COVID every day. I do my Sean T.
Man.
And boy, like, and I wasn't even eating like right, but I saw like a huge difference doing that consistently. So I'm like, all right, I don't gotta work out twice every day, but every day, Monday through Saturday, I do my workout in the morning, and then maybe like 3 or 4 days a week, I can add that extra workout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I need to go back to those apps. Have you ever tried those workout apps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they literally tell you everything, you know, you can do based on your goals and stuff. That, yeah, you can definitely work up a sweat doing that.
Oh yeah, man. That Sean T dog, that Beachbody on Demand app.
Beachbody on Demand.
Yeah,
I've
man.
heard
That's
that.
yo, that you know, that's it. And I just canceled it yesterday because I was like, well, I don't need it now. I got Richard. But I was like,
make sure
you know
that shit is
what?
canceled.
I was like,
Make sure they take that extra
$60
$60 a month and say, oh, I thought you said you canceled. No,
Yeah.
Make sure that is canceled, man.
But yeah, man. But yeah. So I'm just looking forward to these results and goals. I'm just looking forward to, like I said, the challenge and the scene. You know, once I get locked in, I'm locked in. Once I get locked in mentally,
Right.
You know
It's
what I mean?
good that you're open about, you know, the journey that you're going through. You're talking about some people don't like to say the L's that they might take or the struggles they might go through, but that's good that you talk about it because it's inspiring for others. You know?
Yeah, man. You know what I say? Because October would be 16 years that I've been out here.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
So
It's a long time.
I tell myself this: every year, I gotta accomplish something that makes me say, "This is why I'm out here." Every year, me and Boogie say it all the time. Yo, every year we gotta have that one thing to say, "Okay, this is why I'm out here." So I was sitting back the other day. I was talking to my boy. I was like, "Yo, I don't think I had my." I was talking to Chico, and I was like, "Yo, I don't think I had my my big thing this year."
Like a milestone or something?
Like my he was like, yes, you did. He was like, you did the Belasco Theater for Netflix as a joke with Earthquake. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. That's right. So I was like, I could add that.
Yeah, it's like something that came through that you didn't think was going to be there.
Yeah.
And you thought like, oh, I got to at least do this, but something else. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, I can add that. So that's I guess, you know, but I'm always searching for something else. You know what I mean? But
that was cool. The Netflix is a joke. The thing that we did at the Improv, and then the Comedy Union.
I didn't go to
tribute. That. Yeah, I went to that. I didn't even expect to do any time, but they had that big Netflix.
You did time?
Yeah, I roasted ends in the club
for
nice. About like 5-6 minutes. Like everybody was coming through doing sets. So that was real cool. I talked to him today, as a matter of fact. That was cool to do shows like that, and just like a random, you know, oh, this is like, you know, a comedy event, like a big comedy event, and being part of that. So.
And that was a blessing too, because Quake paid me very well.
Oh yeah, I didn't get paid.
Quake paid me very well.
Shout out Earthquake.
Yeah, shout out Earthquake.
We're gonna get Earthquake on our episode. So that was dope, man. And so every year you gotta have one of them big milestones in your career out here, and that's what and those are the things I try to hold on to keep me going. But boy, I'm telling you, like for every milestone, you'd be like, yo, like God dang, like this shit, that shit, like it's a lot of things, and that's why I'm saying, man, it depends on who you talk to. It's a lot of things that can get you very frustrated about the business. Because a lot of people ask me, what is it like in LA? And LA is great. The business is great. But it's just the people. And the people
meaning?
Just the people.
Like as a good thing. That's what makes it good? Or makes
the people make it good and bad.
Right.
And then the people in the business, you know, like the bookers and things like that. It was this post that I posted. The thing about Hollywood, people will ignore your text. I don't know if I said this on another episode. I might have. But people will ignore your text instead of telling you no, just in case you blow up.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They won't respond.
I think I heard you say that like the other day.
Yeah, they will completely just say, I will ignore this person. I don't want to say no, but I'm going to ignore them just in case they blow up. And they don't want to look, you know, be in your bad. Yeah.
It's so they're giving themselves an out. Like, I don't believe in what you're doing right now. to the point where I can say yes to you.
It ain't even that they don't believe what they doing. Like everybody in LA know I'm certified when it comes to me being on the stage. So, like that's just one thing.
Are you talking about some hater shit?
I don't know what it is. Like for example, like I text Marie at the Laugh Factory every Thursday. Yo, my veils, and she don't even respond. Now, one time I text her was just like, yo, I text something different. I was like, yo, hey Maria, something about I said something different, and she responded. I was like, oh wow. I thought I was
seeing all these other ones. She's seeing that shows you.
So I'm like, you seeing it, and I talked to her.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, just respond and say kiss my ass.
At least say kiss
I'll be
my
good with
ass
that.
or kick rocks.
Yeah,
or something.
But it's that nature of the shit that still kind of gets under my skin, because when I see you, I will say that yo, you get my messages, like just at least respond. That's what I told her. At least say fuck you, so I could be like, all right.
but to your face. I mean, and not talking about Maria specifically.
Yeah, not talking about. It's a
to your face. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, you know."
To your face, they hit you with the
I'll put you on a
fugazi.
show next week. And
and then I'm a type of dude at this point. I call you out, and then I looking like the
maybe.
Those are the.
That's always a frustration, man. But everybody's different. Of course, you know that. But the reason why they actually do that, I never understood. Yeah, just be real. Just say not right now. Say something.
Yeah.
Because people will always remember the way that you treated them.
That's why I understand when sometimes the celebrities have a chip on their shoulder or they walk around like, I get it. I didn't get it before. But I'm like, yo, you don't know what they've been put through.
Yeah, you don't know. You never know what somebody.
You never know what they was put through. And I understand the opposite. I understand the people who make it that are very gracious and very like because I understand what they went through. And they was like, yo, when I get in this position, I will respond to text. And there's people who respond to your text, but you know those people who don't. So it's just a matter of just maneuvering in the land of that. Imagine if you with your girl and she just ignore you.
Oh, that's easy. That happens all the time.
Or you text, you know what I mean? You text anybody close and they just rather ignore you instead of being like, or instead of giving you an answer. Sometimes my girl say something and I'm like right here and she's looking at me, she'll say something to me and I won't say nothing. She's like, well, did you hear what I said? Yeah, right here. Like, why does it deserve a response? Yeah. But certain things, you know what I mean? Yeah. If you all like, hey, babe, can you take the trash out? Or hey, babe, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, like not
she know I hear her.
You want to hear audibly.
She wants you to hear that. You know.
Okay, I will do it.
And we don't get that at all with some of these folks in the.
Oh yeah, like casting directors and
casting directors. That's why shout out to my management. She's always very communicative with me, and but it's just like these people these bookers, man, that when you be trying to get in these clubs, even when you pass at the clubs, it's just like it's just one of them things, man, one of them challenges. You know what I mean?
I think there are things that the people that are getting booked, I think they're either there's some rapport or relationship that makes them feel good about giving them a spot over you, or they say something. It's like they know what to say, and that's game that sometimes you don't have an in at that club, if that makes sense. Like that's because there's always here's how you get in at this club. It's not going to be the same way
that the other person got in.
At the other place. Oh yeah, and it's that too. This person has his way of getting in that works for him.
Because people say, like at the Comedy Store, you got to work at the, got to be a door guy. And I work my way from a door. I'm not about to be no door guy. And that ain't because I think I'm better than that, but it's just because
you're 40.
Yeah, I'm 40. Shit. I'm 43.
Well, people will do what they're willing to do, but at the same time, if you have hoops, rings of fire that you expect everybody to jump through, and then they're over here doing it, and then they see some dude that come over on this side and they're up on stage. It's like, wait, what is that?
Whoa.
What is that?
And you better than them?
Yeah,
like Kanye say,
they just got here. Ain't been here 5 minutes.
Like, damn, these niggas that much better than me. I know
like,
they ain't.
Nah, I think not.
They just want you to be famous.
A lot of that too, and whether it's social media famous,
whatever,
or what kind of famous too. And it's just like, I'm like, yo, what happened to, you know what, with the night, like, what happened to the people that was just cool, swag, like, just this motherfucker look good on stage, he funny, like, let's, like, what happened to that, yo?
I think it's
like it ain't
it's still there, but
not on these non-black nights.
No, you talking about non-black nights?
Yeah, this is all I'm referring to. Black nights ain't nothing to get on. Black nights ain't nothing to get on. That's shit. But who wants to keep doing that where the main bookers are not going to those shows? Like, it's time out for just doing the urban nights. And that's another thing. Like, why y'all not going to the Chocolate Sundays to watch that talent? Why y'all not going to these? Why the bookers are just staying watching these main, you know what I mean? So the people I'm seeing, like, especially the black people, I'm like, some of these black dudes don't represent the culture. They don't represent and I hate to be, but what's the culture? We know what the culture is, and we know what it ain't when we talk about black.
Well,
am I right?
You right, and that's why eventually people have their own thing. You know, and now that kind of cuts down, out of these gatekeepers and people that aren't representative of us the way that you think that they should be, and then you got your own thing. You kind of sidestep that kind of stuff, but nah, you should be able to have your own, pull in your own people.
Yeah, it's like,
rooms, especially if you have an in.
I don't want to have to wear, and no offense, I don't want to have to wear a Star Wars shirt and some Crocs to go, just to be like, oh, he's okay, yeah, he
can fit right in.
He fits right in. I don't have to wear a Ninja Turtle shirt if I don't, and I love the Ninja Turtles. But you know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying? And I wear Crocs, but you get what I'm saying. I don't want to have to downplay my coolness. Yeah. I don't want to have to downplay who Trey Elliot is to make some of these bookers feel comfortable. You know what I mean? You think, and I feel like a lot of times these people that they putting on that are, in our, in the urban world on these mainstream nights, some of them, this ain't taking no stab at nobody. I'm just talking about what I see in general, even the people that they push. They don't really represent, like, the culture. Like, the 90s, man, you had a pure representation of the culture. And then you had your people who fit in. Like, even Chappelle at that time he had a different swag then. He was kind of like the oddball compared to, like, the Tuckers and the Chris Rocks and they all had a certain kind of like whatever.
He was in his own lane.
And then when you saw Chappelle for the first time, he was like, "Oh yeah, he making these white people laugh."
He had his own lane. Like he had like a hook into the mainstream boardroom, if so to speak. Okay, he's going in through the mainstream gate, so to speak. But he's always had. I think all those comedians back then, they all had their own lane. And that's how like some of them today have had longevity in the business. Everybody that kind of fell off, and like I'm talking about Def Comedy Jam and BET's Comic View and all that stuff. I think those are the guys that stuck out because they were different and they had their own voice, even back then.
Yeah, like who the new Bill Bellamy's? Who's gonna be like the next? I would say Tucker, but young DC young, even though he ain't trying to be quick, but he has that kind of swag and demeanor and
know what? And I think that's why it's so hard to get through that gate, because you're not the last guy. Like you just said, okay, who's the next Bill Bellamy?
Yeah, and I say that because
I get it.
Yeah, because back then they was like, yo, we gonna push him. He the ladies' man. He the smooth dude. Like, he the one that he's gonna get all the girls. Give him a movie, how to be a play. It's like, who is that now that they push like that? Who is? It's so many people, but it's just like, now you got a whole bunch of hotep, like, people like, I wouldn't necessarily, like, he wouldn't be in that in crowd type of situation if that give
me an example of that, like somebody that's dope over here but it's not really accepted over here.
Well, now they accept it everywhere because they're big, like they the industry decided to give them an opportunity. But let's be real. I'm going to say somebody who's very talented, who prior to his talent, he probably wouldn't have been the one to been like the kudu. I would say somebody like Donald Glover.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Donald probably wasn't you know what I mean? He was very very intellectual, a dope artist, but just, you know what I mean? Like, he got that quirky.
You talking about as a comedian, would you say alternative style?
Yeah, he had an alternative
style, like,
which is dope. I love the alternative style of comedy, so don't get me what I'm saying wrong, but that's all I feel like the mainstream is pushing when it comes to when it comes to black comedians, not even urban. And that's my whole point.
Right now or back then?
Right now.
I think it's always been.
There are a lot of black comedians that are not urban that are good for mainstream that are not alternative. Like Tone, like a regular. I'm a cool black dude that could do any kind of room. Mm-hmm. I'm not an urban. You know what I mean? I'm not urban. I'm not a weird, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but the mainstream is not really pushing that for black people. If you go on Netflix right now and see every black dude that got a special, they're going to all kind of have a similar look, a similar style of comedy.
It's just
correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, it's just, you're just talking about, here's a mainstream, this is palatable for this platform, or...
but you mean, so when you say that, what do you mean? This is palatable.
Like, we're not afraid of this nigga. We're not. He doesn't scare us in our living room because you're going into someone's house.
Right. So you're proving my point.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with you, but it's like, that's why. Prime example. Def Comedy Jam.
Right.
Def Comedy Jam provided a new lane, so because of that, that's the lane. You go outside of that, it's like you're supposed to go over there. That's your lane. So you have to be totally opposite of that to get in on the the Comedy Centrals, the premium, back then premium blend. But even then, if you had a voice and you was good and you had some development deal, you had good representation and good relationships, it just seemed like that person was picked out of obscurity, and they never had to go do the shows with the blacks, so to speak.
Right.
Because I mean, I remember Dave Chappelle's set on
Def Comedy
Jam. It was
good.
It was dope.
It was good.
He was on with the Comic Relief with Robin Williams and Whoopi Goldberg. Mm-hmm. But he had a lane. He was different. As long as you different and your own, and you have your own voice that's original, I think that will set you apart anyway.
Eventually. It might take you longer.
It might take you longer, but still, D.L. Hughley, different. He was hosting the premium blends in the mainstream shows on TV. He was different. Yeah, it took him that long.
But what got him popping?
I mean, he was
Kings of Comedy.
Kings of Comedy, but even before that, when he was hosting
Def Jam, Comic View,
when he was seen as the host. So the host is kind of seen as the guy that can talk,
Yeah.
But he had the the shows and the mainstream shows. He had the deals, the representation that opened that door for him.
And then you had the radical black comedians now, like the whole Kill Tony crew.
The Kill Tony. You got the Cam Patterson.
The Cams and
great.
Have you heard his stuff?
Yeah, I think he's really good.
I've heard his stuff. I think he's growing.
Yeah, he's kind of newish. You think he's like
he's new,
years. And
that's the thing, man. Like now is the point to where Kill Tony could do something for your career. You could get weekends doing a few episodes of Kill Tony more than you could doing a lot of stuff now.
And that's at the mothership, right?
That's at the mothership.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Tony.
But I just feel like though when it comes like Cam is so young.
Yeah.
So his style and the things he talk about are kind of just random because Kill Tony you doing a minute. And he tried to, and always got to be a new minute. So I just feel like that crowd, though, they just laugh at anything that's just kind of just like outrageous. You know what I mean? Like that's a young young white crowd. Like, in you know, you could just be like, "So, bitch was sucking my dick."
I see your point. They do be laughing at like wild stuff.
Yeah, it's just like
the absurdity of you just said that.
Yeah, there's not really nothing that will fly besides that kind of other than
but
that
that's
kind
where
of
it
y'all
is.
experience.
That's coming from my experience. Yeah.
At the mothership.
Now, when we did the mothership, we killed it. Tone murdered it. Of course, I murdered it. It was a good vibe. And to believe it or not, those people that came to the mothership, the majority of them were tourists. Which is but that Kill Tony crowd, I think that's a lot of like their base. Mm-hmm. But they like that wild, raunchy shit that's not really, I'm not gonna say it's not comedy, but it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
What do you think about like Ali Sadiq?
Dope.
Yeah, like
he's the epitome of what I feel like comedy really is and really what it should be. Even when I'm on stage, and to be honest, I haven't really watched all his specials because I'm not, I know what he does. I watch some of it. He's brilliant. He's dope, and that's the kind of comedy that I like. I like the real. I like to sit down. That's why when I do my hour, start doing my hour on the road, it's gonna kind of have that kind of flavor and feel to it. You know what I mean? Not mimicking, but just, if anybody know my shit now, everybody know I'm very authentic on stage. I tell the truth on stage. I talk about real shit on stage. I just make the truth funny. I don't really have too many jokes where I'm like, let me just make this up. Or let me just figure out what I feel like could be funny. Nah. If my ex at that one time caught me cheating, the day after it happened, if I got a show, I usually talk about it. Yeah, my girl caught me cheating.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, my girl almost caught me cheating. Blah, blah, blah. And then the bit, that's where my talent comes. Like, the bit comes to me. Shit, I almost threw my phone out the window. Boom. Why? Because that really happened. I almost threw my phone out the window in real life one time. When my son's mother, the cops, she was trying to get my phone.
Right.
Threw the phone out the window. But then I tied that into another situation. You know what I mean? And that's how that's where I write. That's where my muscle comes from for writing.
But that's relatable, and that's why it's like fuel for the punchline. It's like, cause this just happened, and it's like you're uninhibited. You're not judging yourself.
No.
Especially when that happened to me, like the day or the evening I got back home and my then wife had like left. I was like, where's my pen? I got it because I had a show. I was working with Faison that next week. I got in. I just let it all hang out. Faison was like, "Man, you all right, man?"
Yeah.
I was going in. That's probably the best set I had it to that point.
Yeah.
Because I don't care. And after what I had to go through at the house, the emotion, everything, I focused and channeled that.
Yeah.
And people understood because they've been in that situation before. So it makes it that much more relatable, man.
Yeah.
So switch subject for a second. You was talking about the comics for Kamala.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the comics for Kamala. Now, is it a Zoom thing or is it a live show?
I thought it was. It might be. It might be like a live show.
Where? You know where?
I saw the post, but it's like
it didn't have no venue on there.
That's why I'm saying I thought it's like wherever it is, zoom into it, and comedians are coming through, or maybe they're going into the Zoom from their house.
That's what I don't know.
I just saw like a lot of people. I was like, I saw D.L. Hughley's name on there amongst other ones, and in pictures, and then like a list of other comedians.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for comics for Kamala, man. I'm just
meaning you want to be on the show, nigga. I don't care if I'm on that show or not.
Right.
I wouldn't mind being on the show. I wouldn't mind being on the show.
Yeah,
but
just it's
so what's your thoughts with Kamala with the whole
lots of jokes there. Lots of jokes, fair game. I hope that.
Oh yeah,
I hope comedians. I hope comedians write a gang of stuff about it. If she becomes president, I think there's gonna be a treasure trove of jokes because all comedians joke about the politicians. All comedians have jokes about it. So I think it's even with Donald Trump, former President Trump, I think it's a treasure trove of jokes. It's endless. But just being, I'm a watcher. I'm watching. I'm just like, I'm not taking sides just because I'm tired of taking sides of this person or that person. I believe that I've grown to a
hear
certain
the
level.
Policies. You got to hear what the policies are.
It is. There's a lot of media hype behind it, and comedians getting involved and putting their personal feelings into it and all this and that.
That's what I don't like.
I'm like this.
Yeah. I'm tired of seeing comedians keep posting about Kamala in the election and she ain't black, she ain't this, she ain't that. I'm like, look.
Irrelevant.
All of it is irrelevant.
I don't care if she's black. I only care if she's anti-black. That's what I care about. Now, if you want to talk about that, then we can have a discussion. But that has nothing to do with her politics per se, because we don't know what that. Like, I go to her website, I'm like, okay, it's just asking for money. Like, nigga, for
and
what?
she's been getting
for what?
She's
been getting a lot.
She be shopping,
and
for
a lot
money.
of Republicans have opted to. They have Republicans for Kamala now. I heard something like that. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens and what goes on. But I don't find it necessary to keep having to pull up some of this information, whether some of it is true, false, and embellished. Well, she locked up more niggas for weed and did that. I'm like, well, nigga, you knew weed was illegal.
Well, I mean, people are asking the wrong question. It's like, how many people did she unjustly prosecute and target? You know, how many black people did she target and unjustly prosecute for weed?
If she locked them up because they had the weed, then she ain't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, you need to scrub through that with a fine tooth comb. I don't care if it was just one, but it's like, yo, how many did you? How many did you target? Because look, niggas got weed.
It ain't about targeting though.
It
is, but I've seen like other information where she only put like 3 or 4 black dudes in jail. Everybody else was like Hispanic or something. It was a article I was reading. So you got to do the research. At the end of the day, you got to research yourself.
You got to research yourself.
And memes aren't research.
No, memes are not research. You have to do the heavy lifting on Google and read and search, and get your facts straight.
Yeah.
But I have not heard what I personally need to hear from any candidate that says, you know what, I'm gonna vote for that guy. It's the white noise. What is she? Trump. Oh, he's gonna let the cops kill niggas and get away with it. Kamala is she locked niggas up, and it's like,
yeah,
it's like this. I'm like,
and the crazy thing about this world is everybody is such an advocate and gung ho for their POV. Like everybody's so at like radical at whatever spectrum that they're on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, damn, how could that be? All right, it got to be some middle line shit somewhere along the line but like, nah, like whatever is right or whatever is wrong in everybody's mind, that's it.
Well, that's
there isn't. Well, Kamala locked all these niggas up, but she did do some good stuff. Or Donald wanna lock up all niggas, but he did blah blah blah. Like whatever that case may be.
Well, this is.
And I ain't saying Donald did anything.
This is a rerun with different characters playing the parts of who's gonna be.
This deja vu.
Yeah, this is all. They're up to their old tricks, And I'm saying specifically for black voters because that's who they need for some reason.
This is deja vu for when?
For the last election.
Oh,
for the last election. So the last election, you were still in high school and you're not registered to vote, right?
No, yeah, right.
So are you registered now because you're in a different state? So
no.
Okay.
No, but you can register to vote at 18, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
I can now.
So you can't get registered to vote in California.
But last election, you couldn't vote in that election. But it's the same
Same
playbook,
situation.
the same situation. It's like we need the black vote, and then they do things to get the black vote, and I think it's just inappropriate.
I remember that Trump was like freeing every rappers out of jail.
yeah. Don't vote for me. I got.
And the people who even listen to the rappers ain't even voting.
Who was it that he pardoned? It was like
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. You know, Lil somebody.
Yeah.
Was it just Wayne?
All the Lils.
It was a lot of littles.
A lot of littles who got out of jail. So, see that's why I think one day Kim Kardashian is gonna run for public office. And remember all these niggas who got out of jail?
I feel like she'll be a dope vice president one of these days. Maybe when she like 50 or 60.
I vote for her.
Why?
I vote for her right now.
What, see, that's what they gonna get you right there. That's how they get you.
Why
Kim
not?
Kardashian, man, she fly.
Why not?
But I just don't like being treated like I'm dumb.
I mean, look.
Megan Thee Stallion got on stage and shook her ass
they've been
in front of a whole bunch of nursing home looking white people.
They've been doing this forever.
I wonder what they did like back in the 60s. What they
Same thing.
But who
Etta
was it?
James and Josephine Baker. Sammy Davis tap dancing and
I bet they did do that.
Ain't nothing changed, bro. It's like we don't want to be bored at these conventions. We need entertainment.
No, we don't. We need facts, and we need commitments and promises from our public servants that are running for office. That's what we need.
Dog, these politicians like comedians. They got a set. And whatever set they want to run that night,
they gonna run.
Whether it's a set like what they do in Austin, or whether it's a set like what Ali Sadiq got. Whatever they gonna do, whatever set that they want to do,
yeah,
and whatever that's gonna please the crowd. They might do some crowd work,
get heckled,
but the politicians are like comedians, man, and it ain't about what is about what they want to, what they want to say or whatever point they want to come, let the audience know. But at the end of the day, it's all about politicians are like men and women. Women say what they want to say to get the dude, or get the dude to do whatever, and men say what they want to say to get the girl. Once the dude got the girl then has to say certain things and make the man do extra shit for her, or whatever the case may be. And that's all politicians are. I got to say the right thing at the right time to the right people to get what I want. And what I want is a W. What I want is a win.
Well,
so they're going to say whatever. And it don't matter what they say at the end of the day.
It does, though.
You know why I don't?
Why?
Because are they going to do it? Is it going to get done?
Well, so far, anything that they have tried to imply that these officials were going to do for black people specifically, which is what I'm primarily interested in, it said, we'll get back to you guys. Just vote us in, and we'll get back to you. And that's what I'm tired of.
Yeah.
Look, we want to talk to you now. We're going to talk to these people first, and then we'll talk to you. And it's just to repeat, I would encourage everybody to watch Malcolm X's speech, the Ballot of the Bullet. I watch it several times every year, election year, or anytime they're taking votes. And just to remind myself, they're doing the same thing again.
Exactly. Malcolm X talked about it.
He talked about this in the 60s.
It's not going to change. You know why? Because what Malcolm
X aren't going to change.
What Malcolm X is speaking, and the people he is speaking to, believe it or not, it's a small percentage.
It is.
So him saying that to those people, we might understand it, but
slowly but surely, it just hasn't reached.
It's not going to change.
Until we get hip to the game and say, look, they're running the same plays.
We are in the land of information. All you have to do is go on your phone, and every post and every other post is giving you information.
Yes.
Every other post, you could go to a Martin Luther King speech, a Malcolm X speech, even at this point, a Dr. Umar.
And at this point, they're repeating this. Like, we're trying to tell you, this is how they run a game on you.
And people still don't care.
They don't, because there's a big ass shaking in front of them, Trey. That's why.
It don't have nothing to do with that.
Yes, it is.
Nah, it's the fact that people are still stuck with, the whole thing with Donald Trump is he's a racist. So whatever Donald Trump say to those people, they not fucking with it. They not fucking with him, regardless of who he have on this show, whether it's Hulk Hogan.
What president wasn't a racist?
Hello, I mean, I agree, but it's the vocalness and the how he articulates in a very vulgar and very non-presidential, which I like, because I really feel like Kamala is going to be on that shit too.
She already is.
I feel like, she already is too.
She's not presidential at all.
Which is good. You know why? Because the average person isn't presidential. So back in the day, when you was a kid, when you was maybe a teenager and you was listening to the debates, some of that stuff you really wouldn't understand all the way. You'd be like, I don't know what they're talking about.
It's like an episode of Benny Hill. What are they saying as a kid? When you get older, it's like, yo, Benny was off the train.
But now, you know,
I don't get that reference.
Yeah. But now, you know, when people, if you more relatable to your average person, like on the movie Head of State. So what are you gonna do about Social Security? Give it to old people. Like problem solved. Mm-hmm. So when you start talking about stuff like that, you know, foreign policies and everything. Well, why I'm gonna work deals with? I'm just making up shit. Why would I work deals with China when they're not, you know, importing or exporting anything for us at this? Like, just keep it simple. So the people, former presidents would say all these big words and this, that, and the third, and people still like, I don't know what you're talking about. But you know, they might understand maybe 30% of you know what I mean, these debates. Now, you know, when I listen, I'm like, you know, I get it, but you know,
so there's still some things that may sound like it's over your head or over the common person's head, but you know who understands that? The corporations and the people who sits up in the
people
boardrooms,
who really making the decisions.
Who really making decisions. They understand it. So when they're talking like that, they're not speaking to the American people, although they say that they're talking to the American
talking
people.
To Coca-Cola, they talking to J.P. Morgan and Chase, they talking to Rothschild.
They're like,
we Tesla, they talking to
Elon Musk. They talking to them.
Elon's a bit separated from the big corps though. He's like really like on his own island. You know what I mean? Per se, like that's the thing about it. That's why a lot of big companies kind of like, you know, Elon is on his own shit. But these other big corps, they all partnered together.
Yeah, it's one big conglomerate to see who can retain power, and you know the little people or the have-nots, they're just gonna not have anything. I mean, you know, just go to the government for your check. What's that Goody Mob song? Who's that peeping in my window?
Who's that peeping in my window?
Yeah. That seems to be playing itself out in so many ways.
Yeah,
you know, the government they want to be big daddy, big brother, you know, mama, and you know, hopefully there'll be enough people that will say enough is enough.
Yeah.
So I personally don't care if Trump gets into the seat again, or
you don't care.
Yeah, man, America is going into a place where there's going to be a lot of gnashing of teeth, and let it all fall, because we're resilient people. We're just going to rise from the ashes again, and hopefully it'll be in a better state. We'll have learned something. But, you know, I don't have anything positive to say about either one of them other than, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
That's what everyone else seems to be saying. Like, and they're getting stuff. They're getting issues worked out. People groups, they're getting, attention, and look, I need you to do this for us. And he said, we're going to do this for you. We're going to do this for you, black people. We want this. We want that. We want protections. We want reparations. We'll talk to you about. We'll get back to you on that. That's what I don't like.
Man, listen.
That's what but vote for us, and then we'll see what we can do. That is an old trick. I'm a disgruntled voter. I have voter remorse because of that.
What president affected your day-to-day? Like, which president that we had in that affected your day-to-day, whether it was for good or for worse? But do you, can you remember? Do you have any examples? Like that prevented you or helped you get up, get your money, put food on your table?
None. But I used to think that, like when I was younger, it's not going to affect me. Like my personal day to day, it's not going to affect me. And those little things that kind of did, like how certain things that the president does behind the scenes that may cause a chain reaction of events, and all of a sudden gas prices go up. Mm-hmm. Not saying what that actually is, but prices of food and this, and like I wasn't looking at it like that. Like there's things that the president is doing as he gets into the office.
So it's like, when Clinton was in, gas was 99 cents.
Well, that's because it was also...
But gas was 99 cents.
It's like, how does that happen? Because I remember, I don't know, when you started driving, gas was in the 2s and 3s, right?
Well, I'm from Maryland, so yeah, it was low, like 3s, yeah, 3s.
Which is high.
Which is high.
For Maryland.
Yeah.
I remember gas being 60 cents a gallon.
Wow.
That's because you're old. Extra old.
Wait a minute.
but
you
were extra. I remember when it was like less than $1.
I
was in my freshman year in college. I remember, I think Clinton, 98? Who was in 98?
98 was, I think that was Bush.
I remember the quick trip right across from where I used to live, 99 cents.
Yeah.
But I remember it was less than that when I was in high school. Yeah. It was probably like 80.
But see, I remember taking a $20 bill and being able to fill up my car.
And where were both of y'all? Like,
I was in Oklahoma City,
Jersey, and North Carolina.
Okay, that's great.
In Atlanta. I went to college in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, but when that gas started creeping up, and it's like, man, it's not gonna stop.
And still wouldn't fill my tank up when gas was 99 cents. Wouldn't put that $10 out of all that it took. Back then $5 was the most you was gonna put in your car.
Like five on pump 9.
And that $5 would give you a half a tank.
You good?
A little bit more than a half a tank. You riding out.
Yeah, you good for a week.
When COVID was happening, you couldn't get a gallon for that.
Oh, nah.
Man, forget it.
I've recently just started filling up my car. Well, now I have but I got gas cars too. But when when COVID came and I had got the Infinity, that's when for the first time as a grown man, that's when every time I went to the gas station, I would fill up. I just started doing that in 2020.
Wow. I would always, the only reason I wouldn't fill up is because I'm that pressed for time. I just need to get to such and such. I don't want to be here for 4 minutes or whatever it is. So I'm like,
I didn't fill up because I always had raggedy cars, and I didn't want to waste money on gas and that shit break down. Now I done spent $30 in gas, and that motherfucker broke down.
Full tank of gas on the side of the road.
I was a trip by trip. I put this mount. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. But now by comparison, I remember I had a Ford Explorer, and I was like, I got to get rid of this, because the gas prices is too high. What kind of decision was that? I could have drove the big body down here.
Yeah.
That's before I moved down here. But I was like, man, I got this little econo car. It didn't make a difference. It still took, 13 gallons?
Yeah.
You still paying 30-something, 40-something, 50-something dollars a tank. Mm-hmm. So that was just the wrong decision. You're gonna be paying for gas anyway.
Yeah.
It just sucks at the tank. You're paying $75. That's like...
Yeah, man. I'm happy about the electric car, but I got to read this article. There was an article saying people are trying to now, half the electric car users want to go back to gas. I got to read that article to see why, just to make sure I'm not in that 50%. I just want to see if they're going to bring something to light that I'm going to be like, you know what? That is right. Let me go back to, what I mean?
But don't you get some kind of tax credit because
Hell
of the car?
Yeah, but I don't file my taxes every year. So
get them.
I mean, I don't never really care. Like, and see, that's part of me getting older and growing, getting more mature. Is that I got to start thinking about things like tax credits, because I'm just like, because a lot of times I don't really get tax taken out like that. You know what I mean? I work it out at the end with my tax person, and I try to get all of my money
and hold on to as much as possible.
And then when I file, see what tax guy I got that could know how to write everything that need to be written off. So if I owe, you only owe this.
Right.
Or if I owe, period. You know what I mean? Right. Or if I owe, I'll just pay him $20 a month.
Oh, make payments?
$30 a month. Because it ain't that much that that I'm if you got the right tax guy.
Isn't that something you owe the government? What?
Yeah.
What kind of concept is that? How do we?
I'm like, I buy food every day that get taxed. So won't you take some of that tax, put it towards my tax bill?
Like, why do you need the money?
Tax, they got the
but see, I don't. I try not to get.
Money.
I'm an exempt dude.
Money.
On set, every time I'm on set, exempt.
Yeah.
Anytime I would get a commission check when I was working and get a exempt. When I was working for T-Mobile, look, back when I was working for T-Mobile back in the day, probably the most money I've ever made, like, at that time. Yeah. It was great. Like, I was getting like $4,000 commission checks every month on a low end. Well, the lowest would be like 25. The lowest would be about 2,500. But I would get between good months between $4,000 or $5,000 commission checks consistently every month, right?
Yeah,
which is good money. Was making like 18, well 15 an hour. Then I got management, whatever. So I was making, you know what I mean, good money. And I was 25, 26, between 26 and what? And yeah, I was there for 6 years. I would exempt all of those, everything, because IRS would take half of your commission check. So 5,000, they walking away with like damn near 2,500. I'm like, nah. Man. So everybody in T-Mobile went to the same tax guy. He would come from Florida to come to Maryland at this time to do our tax. And boy, he would be cursing us out. I'm a fat white guy. He probably locked up right now. Fat white man be like, oh my God, guys, come on, guys, every year we be in here like,
you gonna do it? You gonna do it?
Oh, we gonna
we
do
be in
the
here
thing?
like scared, like, oh please.
You owe $15,000.
And then the minute I went to this African dude in downtown Baltimore, and I should have known not to go to his ass because not only was he doing taxes, he had a DMV there too, so you can get your tags and your stickers. He just had too much shit he was able to do.
You can notarize.
Yeah, and he did my taxes
Fix
about
your
2
watch.
years. In about a year or two, I get a notice that everything that he said I got, I owed.
Oh man,
I was like, this nigga. Fuck.
What's wrong with you?
I should have went back to the white dude from Florida.
I need to get an account and do all my stuff, like, and just say, here's everything, and then let me see what you do and pay someone, because I hate having to do last minute taxes.
So the only thing I got to worry about now, because I get paid through my business now. You know what I mean, through like the tours and stuff like that. So I just gotta, and I haven't filed taxes yet based with my business, so I know that's. I got to get on that and just see, you know what I mean? Because this will actually, believe it or not, I know I'm late, but this is going to be my first year that I started doing stuff through my business instead of doing it through
like a full year,
full year of just all business. You know what I mean? I get paid through First Person Entertainment instead of getting paid through me, which is dope because now I'm building some business credit. I got a, you know what I mean, a little plan. You know what I mean? Because what I'm going to need to do eventually, I'm going to try to fund my own, striving to fund my own special. So I got to start leveraging funds on the business end.
Yeah, I like what we were talking about Ali before. Like, I like what he did. I think I made a special, and here it is, and just put it out there.
Yeah, he was dope. But people forget Ali had somewhat of a name already.
Still though, but
that shit did wonders.
Him, at a higher level. And it's like, yo, what is this? And he's good. He's been in the game
he's
for
a vet.
20 plus years.
Which is why it was the level that it was at as far as material and creativity, because he's been doing it forever, man. He's a vet. When I do my special, man, and I still don't know, but it has to be something that has never kind of been done before, to where I shoot it. It just can't be me just going on stage and just doing my jokes. It got to be something that's like, oh shit, I don't know what that is yet. I have no idea.
But you think you about to juggle? Huh? You about to juggle on stage?
Nah, it ain't gonna be that. and it's gonna. And when I say it's gonna be something different, it's even away from me being on the stage. It got to be something that, like, when people watch it, they're going to be like, oh, shit, I just watched a comedy special. Damn, I ain't even know. Shit. I thought it was I didn't even realize it was, you know what I mean? And
when you get with the right production company, they can interpret your vision.
My boy, Jeff Lucky, one of the best unknown directors and one of the best writers and unknown directors out here in LA. I stamp him. You know what I mean? He's that nice. He's that dope. His work speaks for itself. He's probably one of the hardest working people that I do know. I'm going to get him to direct it because he's one of my best friends out here, and he knows me. He knows my voice, and we're going to come up with something dope.
Yeah, I like the purest form. Maybe the documentary style. I've always liked that style.
And even with that, but I just want it to be. And even if I say it's never been done before, I just want it to be something just refreshing that you haven't seen in a long time, or something where you just like, oh, okay, this was kind of genius. This was kind of brilliant.
You've been doing it your way.
Yeah, because when I release it, that's what's going to be the selling point, and that's what's going to be the thing that make people be like, yeah, I keep hearing about this thing.
Seen this?
Yeah, let me see what it is. You know, instead of just saying, hey, I got a special. Okay, you put it on, and I'm just there standing there. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't like it when people refer to like these platforms. Oh man, they're just giving specials away like hotcakes to this book. I was like, no, they not. They didn't get it. I like hotcakes too.
Well, I've seen people. I'm like, yo, they got a special. I ain't gonna front. I've seen some people that was just like, oh, specials must be on sale.
It must be a special.
Must be a special on specials because this
like these specials are special.
But I'm not taking nobody's blessing away. But there's people that have specials out that's just on whatever platform that I was just like, I don't know if I just would have put this out and called it my special. You know what I mean? Even me and Boog got Comedy Bad Boys on Amazon Prime. Funny thing, when we shot that, we didn't shoot it it wasn't a special. We just shot it. Listen, I was telling my homeboy Kurt, call him Uncle Kurt. I was like, yo, come to my show. I'm doing my 10-year at this point in time. Me and Boogie doing our 10-year in LA anniversary comedy show at the Ha. He's like, yo, who filming it? I was like, nobody. He was like, I'm filming it. He said, I'll get it on Tubi. He said, I could get it on some platforms. That was the day before the show. So me and Boogie didn't go back and was like, yo, we got to reformat. We just like, yo, we just going to do what we was going to do. And then if he get it on there, he do. If he don't, he don't. And we carried it like that. And it was dope. People watched it, but I don't want people to think that was a special. That was just
doing a show,
a 10-year in LA anniversary show that happened to be filmed.
I don't think people would think that because they can see that for what it is.
Yeah.
Like when it's
and
it was
special,
good.
It was good
like,
material. Like it was good. Like that set literally talked about my 10 years in LA and everything I have been through up to that point of shooting that special, which is dope. So even when I do my real one, I'm going to take some of the material from that to incorporate in it, man.
I think it's always good when you're doing the material that is your life. Bruh. You know what I mean? Like, this is my life, where it is right now, and all the jokes and material. It's like you're polishing yourself at that point. And then, if you bring out, old jokes and stuff, that's cool too. But I like the stuff that shows who you are now.
Yeah, facts. I try to keep people updated with what's going on in my life today.
Yeah. Like I still have the same ways as before. I'm not the same person, but I'm at a different point in my life, and materials got to reflect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what you were saying before, you said how does the president affect my day to day?
Yeah.
I just stopped thinking about it in those terms because every president is going to affect your day to day on some level, and the fact that you voted for him, it's like, well, it's your fault. You the one put him in there. Do you ever feel like that? Like, I shouldn't have voted for that.
Yeah, you know what?
Like that.
I never, because I know your issue with Obama for whatever reason. I never felt like that.
I think y'all misconstrued what I said.
When Obama, man, I was getting that extended unemployment, and I don't know if he had anything directly to do with that, but he was in office, like how we say, whoever in that office at that time. Yeah. That's why people say, I made the most money when Trump was in the office, because COVID, everybody was getting
and you really thing
was getting PPPs.
What's that?
I didn't do it illegally, so I don't even know
I
what
didn't
it
do
is.
it illegal. But people was getting a bunch of free money.
Paycheck protection program.
People was getting $30,000, $40,000, $25,000. That ain't had shit to do with Trump per se. He just happened to be in the office while it happened. You know what I'm saying? So
I wonder if one of Trump's umbrella companies got PPP loans, you know, and got that money. See, I think things like that happen because people benefit from it in such a way, and by default, if you know how to file the right paperwork, you can get some too.
Yeah.
I don't think
they're
doing
amount.
that for the people. Let's do this for the people. No, let's do this for us. And if they get the crumbs, go ahead.
Yeah,
that's what I think that is. And then people started taking advantage, and a lot of folks got in trouble over that because they weren't reporting it properly. You know?
Oh yeah. And niggas was niggering. Man, how you getting $1 million and you work out of the house?
Man, do you ever see those posts where it'd be some guy? Is it, man? If you want to start the LLC and business credit, and if you want to get $250,000 from the bank, no questions asked, DM me money, and I'll show you this thing how to do it. I'm like,
cash at me $15.
Yeah,
and I got you.
And I got step by step. I'm like, I ain't doing this.
Yeah,
something ain't right. Something ain't right. You give it if it's that good of a game, you'd be telling your family and friends, and you would tell them the real deal offline. Hopefully they do. And don't try to sell that. You're supposed to be helping people. I don't like when people trying to sell me the game like that. Mm-hmm. That ain't real game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, not in money. You pay for it in doing the work of doing it, but don't try to lure me in. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm about to get took.
Yeah, if you're making all this money, why you need $15?
Yeah.
What you doing?
But you know what, man? Like I was saying,
it costs
time and effort.
Email.
Time and effort costs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, information costs. It's free, but it still costs because you had to take your point to learn that information. Mm-hmm. Everything costs. And so that's why you can't assume that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice if people do shit for you for free, or give you this information for free, or you get cool with somebody who knows the information and they're willing to share it to you for free. But time costs. Time is money. So when somebody be like, "Yo, it's gonna cost $15," here's the thing. I'm a gambler. I give you that little 15. If it's some bullshit, I only lost out 15.
True.
But I'll give somebody 15 if they could potentially show me how to get 250,000. I ain't worried about that little 15. Little 15 ain't nothing.
Well,
and if it don't work,
let me see what they about though.
Yeah, if it don't work, that one another 15.
Well,
that 15 ain't hurt me.
If they give good information, then that's $15 well spent.
But shout out. That's why I shout out to Patrice. You know what I mean? Building boss credit, and Patrice charged $10,000 for her sessions.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah,
she charged $10,000.
So that obviously those better be worth.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like $15. Is this gonna work?
Yeah,
because that's one of those
somebody
things.
Charge
you don't cost enough.
Yeah, if somebody charge you $10,000, you like, oh, okay,
this gonna work.
This shit,
it's gonna work.
This shit gotta work.
Because you ain't gonna trick off somebody's 10,000, man. They gonna come after you.
But luckily, she's my friend.
There you go.
So
you got the game. You get the game.
I get the knowledge. But
yeah, if you truly, I mean, the expense of educating people and trying to be organized about it. Yeah, I mean that's how you make your money. But like, if you hustling people, you ain't gonna last long.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna last long. Like, I can't remember the name of that dude. He did like a housing scam. He like ran away with the whole city's money or something like that. He's like, yeah, they looking for him. Yeah, don't be messing with people's money and livelihood. You will get a bad name in the streets, and you can't do business no more. But yeah, but I hope everybody that is participating in election process. I hope they all, vote their conscience, and they at this point, I hope you feel good about your choice, because at this point, that's all you can really do. I just want to feel good. Don't want to get ripped off. I feel like I got robbed or cheated. So I'm not gonna have.
So you're not gonna vote?
No, locally definitely. I want to do my research on who am I gonna, whoever's running. I think like ballotpedia.com. You can see, put in your zip code, and you can get who's going to be on your ballot. That's where you start all the measures. Ballotpedia.com. Gotcha. That's what I look. I look at ballotpedia.com. I look at it's LA CA legislators. I can't remember the name of it, but the website for California, the state assembly. That's what it is. The State Assembly of California, and Congress.gov. That's who you can actually. That's where you can actually look up people's records, track records of of what they've done if they're already in office, and if they're not in public office, just look at their website. They have everything on there, and if you look up somebody, you can actually find their track record of what they have a history of doing. Type in their name, and then type in scandal and see what comes up. Type in, see if something comes up, and go to page 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And see what comes up, man. But if you just want to be emotional and surface level, that sounds right. Oh yeah, she has nice hair.
Yeah, you can't.
You're not. It's you might as well not vote if that's how you're gonna vote. In my opinion,
I don't want people voting just cause. Like, I voted for Obama just cause. Damn, you're damn right. I'm gonna help put the first black president in office. I don't give a shit what he was saying. But now
that it's a black woman, it's like,
I mean, we already had the black thing.
Right,
and I would love to see our first black female president. Our first female and our second black president.
Yeah, say female first, because
I think that would be
is going to tell you she's a woman first.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, what's the first thing you see when they come out the coochie? The skin color or the gender?
You see the plummet. You see the feet.
You
see
know
the
before
head.
they even come out, though.
No, not necessarily.
Well, you can get. What does it say on the sonogram? You can't see the color on the sonogram.
People don't want to know. You know that you know the color before you know the sex. If you don't know,
True, you always know the color.
You always gonna know the color.
It's supposed to be the same one as the daddy.
Right.
So
who did it come out of?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's black before she's a woman.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Her
color, her color is, or her ethnicity is first, or you know what? It's simultaneously, but on site, it depends. You see
I like simultaneously. I like that.
You see a such and such woman or a such and such man. Don't nobody just not look at your appearance and not judge, assess who you are. But Kamala is a woman on sight. Politically, she has a color attached to her. That remains to be seen. People think that she's black, Asian.
Yeah.
People think she's a vice president.
You stupid. She is.
She is a vice president. So she is absolutely a woman, and she is absolutely.
She's all of it. She's everything.
She's everything. So she's the savior of the world.
We didn't say that, but she's everything that people are saying she's not. Minus the female.
What does she say that she is?
She hasn't really said. At this point, she hasn't came out and said, "Hey, I'm black." Like, I haven't at this point from like this point, but we all know she identifies as black. Her dad is what, Jamaican heritage.
I would strongly encourage you to.
I've seen
further into that.
I've seen the memes.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about not just memes. The video of him. With all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
But that doesn't mean what his heritage or what his ethnicity is.
His heritage is one thing, but when you just up and say that you're a totally different culture, just so you can get that culture's vote. I think that's scandalous.
Well, man, like she said, she went to Howard. She was an AKA, so she's been identifying herself as a black woman.
Bill Clinton was a Phi Beta Sigma. Herbert Humphreys was an Alpha Phi Alpha. Those are two white men.
Yeah. No, there's other
that doesn't make you culture.
There's other non-black,
and there's also black people in predominantly white fraternities and sororities. That does not make them white people.
Well, it's different. You can't. It doesn't work the other way around.
Yeah, it's a one-way street.
Because
I agree with you.
our sororities and fraternities were created because of the discrimination and because we needed to start our own predominantly black colleges. So I would strongly suggest you look further into that, brother. I mean, so what? So you don't think the Delta Sigmas, the Omegas wasn't created because of us not being able to get accepted in PWIs, or like
that's part of it. I mean,
well, tell me the other part.
Sororities and fraternities, that is a camaraderie of people. So when you graduate from college, you have a network of people
that you can reach out to.
So you can get
jobs.
So you can get jobs and opportunities, and that's the way it's supposed to work. But does that work like that today? Yes. But what if you're not in a fraternity or sorority? Okay. So, and besides Howard being a historically black college or university, white people go to that all the time. It's Howard University. It is a university. And when
white people went to Clark.
It doesn't determine your culture.
No, but I asked why were sororities and fraternities, black sororities and fraternities
created? You said it was
created?
because of discrimination.
Right. And you said I should look into furthermore.
Well, I mean, there's a myriad of reasons, but you didn't say, well, they need to be able to have a network of people so they can get jobs and pool their resources together. The fraternities and sororities were doing that. It's not just totally about discrimination. Hey, you can't come in our fraternity. And they're like, well, all right, well, fine.
I gotta look more at the history then.
But yeah, there's same thing with historically black colleges and universities. There's just over 100 of them. There's not that many. But just because you go to one doesn't make you.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So I
get
just
that.
I just don't like that talking point.
But
because I went to a predominantly white.
Yeah, but it's different with her. This is not a white. This is not somebody who visually looks white. That's like, well, I went to Howard, so I'm black. No.
Well, that's what
this is a person with melanin in her skin.
She has the requisite amount of melanin in her skin. The one drop rule. All those are white supremacist talking points, and people don't want to say that. I'm saying it. But it's not
about her using that as a talking point to get
I'm talking
votes.
about the media. That's why we're talking about it. Like we're talking about her race. What does that have to do with her ability to govern?
Well, that's what the media is pushing.
Well, and it's moving people's brains, and then all of a sudden you're looking at Megan Thee Stallion's big shaking ass. I mean, so you're gonna go to the polls anyway. This was dope. Rock, hopefully he wasn't caught up in traffic or in an accident or anything.
Hope he's all right.
I'm sure he is. Shout out to Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk, punch. Man.
I was sipping on it, brother. I was sipping on it.
Kirk, I can't sip on the punch right now, man. I'm working on some fitness goals, man. So I got to take a break from the sugary drinks, man. But I sure do miss it. But I will be getting back to it in a minute, my good brother.
Well, y'all go online and check out his Instagram handle. It's right here, or will be right here somewhere. Shout out to Captain Kirk's rum punch.
Jamaican rum punch.
Jamaican rum punch. Where are you gonna be next?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Nope. I gotta look at the schedule.
He's gonna be somewhere on Earth. Somewhere. I am at the Belly Room next week.
Nice.
That'd be August the 15th, the day after my brother's birthday. Shout out to my brother, August the 14th.
Nice.
The first Leo in the family. Rock, I think he's in DC this week. He's in DC this week.
Yeah, DC.
So shout out to Tone Rock. We'll be back in the building.
DC Improv, man. He usually sell out there and
shout
get shows at it. Yeah, Tommy Taylor.
Yep.
Tony Rock will be at the DC Improv this weekend, so make sure y'all check that out.
And yeah, man, this is dope. I like the new look.
Yeah, man. New look, man. New vibes, new feels.
Comment what you think about it.
Yeah, let us know. Comment. Let us know what you think about the new location, man. The clarity, everything. Just give us your opinions. Give us your opinions on all these episodes, man. We are reading them and we are taking heed to them, taking them into consideration. We're always looking to improve, so all your suggestions are welcome. And yeah, man, this is live from the green room.
Yeah, we out. See you next week.
Peace.